Today on 3D Outdoors, we're going to do an unboxing and first shots with the Ruger Mark IV 2245 Lite. Stay tuned. Okay, we've got the brand new Mark IV Ruger 2245 Lite. We're going to get it out of the box here. As you can see, it comes in the standard Ruger box. Some people might be a little offended by that and say, well, it doesn't have a fancy plastic box and whatnot. You know what, to me that doesn't matter. These end up going into other cases and brought to the range without their original factory boxes. The original factory boxes have the serial numbers and everything on them. I don't even use them. They just end up collecting dust in a closet somewhere. So coming in a cardboard box is just fine with me and cutting some costs. Get her opened up. Inside the box, you can see we've got our 2245 in there in the Lite version. We'll go over some features here after we get everything out of the box. Got a little plastic Ruger, I don't know, keychain, whatever you want to call it, that was on it. It was in a bag. Got your safety flag that you can put in the gun if you want to, or if the range requires you to have a safety flag in your firearm. Kind of a neat little addition. It's a small one that fits the 22s. Your standard size don't always fit. Inside the box, of course, we've got our Ruger lock. I think those will go in the drawer probably with the rest of those. And we have the spare magazine in there. Okay, just a real quick edit. You'll notice the video edit here. I'm adding this in. Obviously, I didn't mention it, but it should come without saying that all Ruger firearms come with the Ruger Firearms Manual and some different information inside of there. I had that set aside, so I didn't happen to mention that in the original, but there's that is. One other thing I wanted to make sure that I mentioned on that, on the new Ruger Mark IV, you would think that the magazine on these look very similar to the Mark IIIs. And I'll actually do a comparison here, which is a very good idea. And I have the +1 base plate on the Mark III, so it does look a little different, but the magazines look the same, but they will not interchange. And that's one thing. I don't know why Ruger had to be that way, if it was just to make it drop free easier, because the old mags had that issue, but once you put a kit in, they drop free. So I don't know what the deal is, but the old magazines will not work in the new Mark IV and vice versa. You can't swap them around, so make sure you keep your magazines separate. So let's get into a little bit about the Ruger 2245 Lite, and specifically the Mark IV. You've probably seen in other videos the Mark III, which they look identical almost. A little bit of lightening of weight up here on this one, and I have some extras on here. I put a muzzle brake, which you don't need on a 22, but some of the things with the new one here that Ruger really learned from the past. This one here has a lot of additions. You had to do a drop-free kit in them to get the mags to drop free. You had to put a kit in to automatically a slingshot kit to release the bolt on these. So there were a lot of aftermarket things you had to do. Plus, when you went to take them down, it was quite the chore. If any of you have the originals, the Mark II, the Mark IIIs, you know, in the back here there's a takedown clip. You got to pop that open and take it. It's quite the process to take it apart anyway. You're holding it upside down and sticking your tongue out, all kinds of weird stuff just to get the thing to come apart and go back together. Awesome firearm, probably lasts you forever, and very dependable. But Ruger did learn from that, and right out of the box, have to edit that, I don't have the mag all the way in. Right out of the box, you can see the magazine springs out of the bottom of the gun, which is awesome. So if you're using this just on the range, or even if you're out doing some kind of competitive shooting, for reloading, they drop right out of there. They did make the bolt release lever a lot more pronounced on this one. This one here was just a little button that you pushed on. This one here has a nice pad so you can get up there and release that bolt and send it home. The safety on the old Mark III was again just a little button you flipped up and down. This one here actually has a nice safety lever on it. I like that a lot better too. Of course, the big change on this one here is how you take it apart. We're talking about how hard it was to take the Mark III apart. The Mark IV has a button in the back. You drop the mag out, so we'll just go through the whole process here quick. You drop the magazine, push a button in the back, and swing it up and bring it right off there. Very similar to an AR-15. It opens right up for you and pops apart. Grab your bolt and pull it out and clean it. Doesn't get any easier than that. And putting it back together, slide your bolt in there, swing it under your arm, bring it up and push it on. Put your mag in, see, bolt, hold back, you're ready to go. It's awesome. So all the problems that Ruger had in previous versions, they literally took to heart and fixed on this one, which is awesome. And for those of us that like to run suppressed, comes threaded. Little bonus for all of us with suppressors. Just spin that right off, your nut on the end, grab your can, spin that right on, and you have a nice, compact, lightweight package that isn't a complete pain to clean when you get done. This one here, you'd spend all kinds of time taking it apart. Really dependable, threaded barrel, screwed it on, shot it suppressed a lot, but this one here, to take it apart and clean it, is a breeze. Let's go over and take some shots with this and we'll show you how quiet it is. All right, let's put some rounds through the 2245 here. Suppressed, no hearing protection. Rips them right out of there, and quiet. It is so nice. You can spend time on the range and not worry about the ears. So there you go. There is the new Ruger Mark IV 2245 Lite. This is Dan with 3D Outdoors, reminding you to get into the outdoors and enjoy everything it has to offer. If you like this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button at the bottom. See you next time.